It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Game 1 of the final 6 of the season, Game 1 of the 3-game series with the Rockies. Colorado might be in last place. However, they have beaten the Dodgers 8 out of 15. They've also beaten them 5 of the last 7 meetings. For the Dodgers, of course, they'll be playing this game with one eye on the Cardinal game, which will be winding up early in hours as they host the Washington Nationals. For the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw trying to win his 13th, and it'll be left-hander Jeff Francis with a record of 5-6 for Colorado. Each pitcher has the identical 6-4 lifetime mark against the other team. However, Kershaw is 3-1 against Colorado here at Dodger Stadium. We'll get to the ball game, but we'll have a whole lot more first coming up right after this. And emotion agree. The Hyundai Sonata is amazing. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer today. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by Kettle One.
Festive feel at the stadium tonight as they are celebrating Tommy Lasorda's 85th birthday with some tributes up on the scoreboard. Kirk Gibson on Washington, Bobby Valentine. Here's the standings as we get serious about National League wildcard baseball. The Dodgers begin the day 3 back of St. Louis for the final spot to the second season, but St. Louis is hammering Washington 9-1 right now. Last time we checked, in the 5th inning. Clayton Kershaw is going to go for the Dodgers tonight. A couple of weeks ago, we thought Clayton Kershaw was shutting it down for the season. He came back, pitched well a couple of different times, Is he hurt or is he not hurt, Steve?
He's just hurt. He's not injured, and there's a big difference between that, and he's a tough guy. I think every Dodger fan knows that by now. Gritty kid that goes out there and will pitch for this team if he can walk. And so you've seen him go out there kind of banged up his last couple starts and still looked good. He was upset when they took him out of his last start in Cincinnati because he hadn't made a start that short, just 5 innings, in his last 29 starts. He likes to go out there and finish what he starts. He wants to go out there and throw as deeply as he can into the game. And with 6 games to go, the Dodgers get to see him 2 more times go out there to take the mound.
Clayton Kershaw leads the National League in ERA at 2.69. He's also among the best at 211 strikeouts. And over his last 6 at Dodger Stadium, he's 3-0 with a 147. Enjoy the ball game.
Jack combo at Jack in the Box for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play $250,000 Sports Watch football. It's free to play. And by Looper in theaters September 28th. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. A gorgeous evening after such a lovely afternoon, and the prospects of a good ball game as the Jim Tracy's Rockies arrive in town to go up against certainly a meaningful game for the Dodgers and a mere workout for Colorado. As far as meaning is a meaningful game for the Dodgers, of course, they must win, period. Because, first of all, with the so-called magic number at 4, the Cardinals are beating the Nationals 9-1 in the top of the 6th inning. So it could be that before we get very far along in our game, the magic number will already be reduced to 3. And he wouldn't mind punching holes in the Dodgers. Why not? That's his job. And here is Jim Tracy's lineup. Josh Rutledge leads off at shortstop. Tyler Colvin in center field. And Jordan Pacheco at first. Willen Rosario behind the plate. Chris Nelson at third. Matt McBride in right field. In left field, Andrew Brown. And at second base, DJ LeMahieu with the veteran Jeff Francis on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, the 24-year-old Clayton Kershaw with a record of 12-9. Did not figure Sunday when he went at Cincinnati and allowed just 1 run in 5 innings. And against San Diego, He was skipped in order to get ready for this game, and in his career, he is 6-4 lifetime against Colorado. He has always pitched very well here against everybody, and he is 3-1 lifetime at Dodger Stadium against Colorado. So he's up atop of the heap. R.A. Dickey, who won his 20th, is just behind him, and then Kyle Lohse. By the way, in talking about pitchers, the headline tonight, Homer Bailey of the Cincinnati Reds threw a no-hitter tonight in Cincinnati. Later on, we'll show you a little bit about it, but we'll get that out of the way, and now we'll concentrate on the ball game. It'll be Josh Rutledge to start it off, and the first pitch, a fastball low, ball one. 1-0 the count to Josh, hitting .287, 8 home runs, 36 runs batted in. A very young ball club as Rutledge takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Couple of things that the Rockies certainly do offensively very well. They get a lot of infield hits. They have speed as Dexter Fowler looks on. That's one speed they don't have tonight. The next pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count 1-2. Among other things, the Rockies have collected 159 infield hits. You always think about Colorado and the Bombers in Blake Street, etc., but 159 infield hits this year. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Grounded to the left of Ramirez. Hanley, a low throw, and scooped that nicely. So Hanley Ramirez has been involved in some rather shaky throws, but he has a gold glove at the other end of it. Let's take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. Shane Victorino, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. Luis Cruz, Hanley Ramirez. Mark Ellis returns to the Wars, and Adrian Gonzalez, and A.J. Ellis handling Kershaw. So we have one away in the first inning, and the batter now is Tyler Colvin, left-hand hitter, batting .290, and a good one. He has 18 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Kershaw ready. Fastball jumps in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Colvin backed up by Jordan Pacheco, the first baseman. So a very young Rockies team, and of course some familiar names are on the sidelines. Colvin, meanwhile, high foul ball off to the left of the plate. A.J. Ellis is there to glove it for the out. And we have 2 down in the first inning. Carlos Gonzalez, the brilliant outfielder, unable to play with a hamstring. It's conceivable maybe he would go up there to swing a bat, but he's got the bad leg. Dexter Fowler, the daddy long legs who patrols center field for Colorado. He has tendonitis of the wrist. Jason Giambi has been down with the flu. So 3 of the more familiar names are not making the game. And, of course, another one would be Todd Helton, and yet another one would be Troy Tulowitzki. Helton announced, he had the bad hip, that he is going to come back next year. Tulowitzki's over in Arizona. The pitch in the dirt. In fact, Tulo was saying, I play a little bit on Sunday. But what he means is over there in Arizona, he's not going to play against the Diamondbacks. That would be a little foolish. So some of the stars, the familiar names, are sidelined, but the Rockies still have some fine young players. The 1-1 pitch is hit foul off first, out of play, and the count 1-2. Pacheco hitting .309. Kershaw trying to get a 1-2-3 inning and get the Dodgers off in the right direction. Coaching over at first for Colorado is Glenn Allen Hill. And over at third, local boy comes back. The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. Just outside of the third base coaching box is Rich Dower, who is a rare man indeed. Rich was with USC and played the infield on 2 national championship clubs for SC. He was also with Baltimore when they won the World Series in '83. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Pacheco. Slow curveball put him away. So the Rockies go 1-2-3, and at the end of half an inning, Rockies nothing, Dodgers coming up. 3. We'll now take a look at Don Mattingly's batting card. Mark Ellis leads off at second base with Luis Cruz at third. Then you have Matt Kemp in center, Adrian Gonzalez at first, followed by Hanley Ramirez and Andre Ethier. Shane Victorino in left field, A.J. Ellis behind the plate, and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound, Jeff Francis, big boy out of Vancouver, Canada, 6'5", 210, 27 years old. Bounced around a little bit, was with the Rockies, signed a #1 pick out of the University of British Columbia. And the big left-hand is pitched to Mark Ellis. He shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Jeff Francis, a first-round pick, came up to the Rockies in 04 and eventually disappeared and went over to the Royals and then to the Reds organization and then back to the Rockies. Jeff with a record of 5-6, and the left-handed strike one pitch, slow curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-2. Mark Ellis has been fighting a flu bug. In fact, he had an IV while we were in San Diego. He was just not feeling well at all. He tries to hold up on a breaking ball and he can't do it. So that slow curveball gets him, and Mark Ellis, the gentleman that he is, picks up the mask that Rosario had tossed and handed to the umpire. So one away here in the first inning, and the batter, Luis Cruz. Luis Cruz, as usual, made a lot of noise last night with 2 singles and a double. 3 hits, 2 runs batted in, checking in now against Jeff Francis. Francis, given the name Boomer by his grandfather, and his first pitch hit the right field and deep. McBride goes back and makes the catch. Not quite on the track, though just a long fly ball to right. 2 down, and Matt Kemp coming up. Matt Kemp really came alive in San Diego, but he is hitting over 400 against the Padres. He had 7 home runs, 19 RBIs against the Padres. Now turn the page, and here he is going up against Colorado. So Kemp checks in. 2 down, first inning, no score. Francis looks down to Rosario to get a sign. The first pitch to Matt, low and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Dodgers and Rockies, this is the 16th meeting, and the Rockies have won 8 of 7. 8 of the 15. They've also beaten the Dodgers 5 of the last 7 as Kemp takes off the plate, ball 2, 2-0. So Don Mattingly hoping to stay alive, stay close. Discouraging for him, I'm sure, to see that the Cardinals got out in front 9-1 over Washington. The 2-0 pitch in for a strike. Of course, we've mentioned it. It is no surprise for the Cardinals to win at home. They are 46-29, 17 games above 500 at home. The Dodgers are 5 games above. The 2-1 pitch fouled off. A big difference, too, when you look at the standings in the West. You look at the Giants, they are 10 games in front of the Dodgers. And all you have to do is look at the Dodgers and the Giants against Colorado. For instance, the Dodgers have beaten Colorado 7 times, and the Rockies have beaten them 8. The Giants have beaten the Rockies 14 of 18. As Matt Kemp swings and misses, and down he goes. So 2 strikeouts for Jeff Francis, and at the end of an inning, 2 left-handers locked in, no score. On to the second inning. Clayton Kershaw and Jeff Francis, the pitching for the series as it shapes up right now. Tomorrow, Tyler Chatwood, he's a right-hander against Joe Blanton. And then Sunday, Jorge De La Rosa and Josh Beckett. So into the second we go, no score. Willen Rosario ready to check in and get the second inning underway. The Dodgers, Gonzalez and Ellis, Ramirez and Cruz, Victorino, Kemp and Ethier, and A.J. handling Clayton Kershaw. First pitch, pulled fair, just inside the left field line, all the way down to the box seats. Victorino comes up with it and gets it back in. So Willen Rosario hitting .277, and he hit a bullet. It landed, I believe, right on the left field line. Yep, maybe by an inch. So Rosario, a solid double to open up the inning. That's his 19th double. More than that, he has 27 home runs. So Willen, who is Willen indeed, leads off with the double. And the batter will be Chris Nelson, followed by Matt McBride. No score, second inning. Kershaw from a stretch, looks back at Rosario, works a fastball in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls and one strike. Kershaw, another stretch, as you know, fully extended arms above his head. The strike one pitch, a fastball, golfed at and missed, was at 94 down around the knees, and the count 0-2. Top of the second, no score. Game one of 3, game one of the last 6. Hope you spend a little time with us between now and the final out. Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up to Chris Nelson, hitting .303, swings and doesn't get a change and strikes out. So 1 out, second strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. And the batter now will be Matt McBride. McBride, the right fielder, big right-hand batter, hitting .242, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. McBride recently called up. He's only played in 26 games. So trying to move Willen Rosario from second base with 1 out. Kershaw out of a stretch, a look back at second. Ellis fakes going to the bag, and the pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Clayton Kershaw looks in, getting a sign. Jeff Francis struck out 2 in the first inning. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Kershaw deals, fastball fouled at the plate, and the count 0-2. Mark Ellis doing a pretty good fake job trying to keep Rosario at second base. Rosario has stolen 4 bases, but he's also been caught 5 times. So Rosario takes his lead. Ellis way over to his right. Kershaw holding the ball with all of the fingers, so he's not going to tip away anything at all by doing that. No balls and 2 strikes. Clayton from a stretch just looks back. Rosario cautious lead, and the strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed. Another slow breaking ball, and down goes McBride. So 2 out, and the batter will be Andrew Brown. You know, tomorrow, La Gran Fiesta, Viva Los Dodgers. There'll be live music, food, autographs, games, and fun for the whole family. La Gran Fiesta is free with your ticket to the game with the Rockies. It'll start 4 hours prior to game time. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, Chevrolet, and Time Warner Cable. For tickets, be sure to visit Dodgers.com/Viva today. So here's Andrew Brown. Rosario doubles and Nelson and McBride strike out. Kershaw from a stretch. Fastball high and away. Ball 1. For Clayton Kershaw, picking up a whole bunch of strikeouts here right at the start. He has 3. It gives him 214 for the year. 1 ball and no strikes. Rosario a cautious lead. Fastball is inside. So suddenly falling behind to Andrew Brown. 2 balls and no strikes. No score. We're in the second inning, just starting. Andrew Brown hitting .239, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Kershaw's fastball is high and away. Ball 3. 3-0 to Brown. DJ LeMahieu waiting on deck. Outfield fanned out straight away. Victorino up a couple of steps in left. Ethier a reasonable depth in right. And the 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and the count 3-1. The Rockies came here 29 games behind San Francisco, but they did have, and they still have, a 4-game winning streak. And that's a big deal. With 6 games left, what they're trying to do is avoid losing 100 games. 3-1 pitch on the way, very high, ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Brown. That puts runners at first and second. And the batter will be DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu had 4 hits recently in a game against Milwaukee. He has a little 6-game hitting streak. He had his first major league home run middle of August, and it was against Matt Cain. Hitting .294, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. LeMahieu, right-hand batter, and the first pitch to him in for a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. LeMahieu with the pitcher Jeff Francis to follow. Kershaw from a stretch. Clayton ready. Comes right back to the hitter. A half swing for a strike. And the count 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to DJ LeMahieu. Right hand batter in and out of the box. Kershaw trying to get out of a spot of trouble. Working to David John LeMahieu, better known as DJ. And he takes high, 1-2. LeMahieu is big. He's 6'4", 215. From Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Although he was born in Visalia. So LeMahieu, 24 years old. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, no score, second inning. Kershaw ready. Here he comes. Breaking ball is swung on and missed. So he strikes out the side. Despite giving up a double and a walk, he has struck out 4. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Bottom of the second inning, Adrian Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. No score, second inning. Dodgers woke up with the bat on consecutive games in San Diego, scoring 8 runs in each game. However, the first game of the series with the Padres, they lost that tough 2-1 game. They're in the bottom of the seventh inning in St. Louis as Gonzalez takes a slow curveball off the plate, ball 1. The Cardinals 9 and Washington 2. Bottom of the seventh. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Adrian takes a breaking ball off the plate, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Adrian hitting .276. 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in. It's a high fly ball down the left field line, going foul and going back into the crowd. Racing over was Andrew Brown, but didn't have a chance. So Gonzalez coming back to try it again. 2-1 the count. Adrian came home to San Diego. A little bit of trouble on the mound. Brian Gorman over to talk just very briefly. You don't see a usual trench in front of the rubber. Now, first base coach Glenn Allen Hill, there's just one small landing area. It's not even really a hole. All right, Trace back into the dugout. 2-1 the count. Gonzalez had a good time in San Diego. He had 2 hits yesterday. He had 2 the game before. He hits another foul ball off to the left, and he had 2 more. So he had 6 hits in the 3 games against his old club. Kind of shaking his head. I think he felt he should have driven that pitch instead of fouling it off. So he's still up there, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Francis ready. Jeff delivers, and a breaking ball foul back again. Adrian Gonzalez was talking about the fact that he has finally discovered the slot for his hands, and it certainly popped up with those 6 hits. 2-2 the count. They load up the right side, and he probably bangs it into center for a base hit. So Gonzalez has found his stroke. Adrian singles to center, and the batter now will be Hanley Ramirez. That is hit number 1 against Jeff Francis. Down around the knees, and Adrian just whacked it into center field. So with Gonzalez at first, nobody out. You have Ramirez, Ethier, and Victorino trying to pick him up. Hanley hitting .252, 24 home runs, 91 runs batted in. Has been having a lot of trouble lately striking out, making contact. The first pitch to Hanley, slow breaking ball that misses, ball 1. As a Dodger, Hanley has struck out 58 times in 58 games. If you want to add up for the year, he has struck out 130 times. 1 ball and no strikes. Adrian Gonzalez, short lead at first, doesn't do any base running. The next pitch, low and inside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. So Ramirez with a hitter's count. We'll see what he does with it. Waiting on deck, Andre Ethier. 2 balls and no strikes. Francis, hands at his sides at 6'5", hides the ball back of his left hip. Now he's ready. And the 2-0 pitch to Ramirez is a fastball down and away, ball 3. With Francis, you're going to get a 4-seamer. He has a 2-seamer that sinks, change up, a couple of curveballs. One of them you could almost call kind of a slurvy slider. 3-0 the count to Hanley Ramirez. Francis ready, and Fast one low, ball 4. So the Dodgers are in business on a base hit and a walk. First and second, nobody out, and Andre Ethier coming up. Andre Ethier did not play in San Diego against the left-hander Clayton Richards. As you know, if you've been following the Dodgers at all this year, that Andre has played well, but he has struggled against left-hand pitching. He is hitting only .214 against left-handers, .325 right-handed. So he has 2 on and nobody out, and hitting behind him, Shane Victorino, a switch hitter who would bat right-handed. Francis looks down the barrel to get a sign from Willen Rosario. A check of Gonzalez at second, and a check swing and ball 1 on Andre Ethier. Andre hitting .282 with 19 home runs, 86 runs batted in. If the world was strictly right-handed, he'd be hitting a ton. As it is, he's hitting .325 against right-hand pitching. Francis ready in the 1-0 pitch. On the hands, a little flare over the head of Nelson and down the line. Gonzalez will score. Ramirez is safely in at third. Ethier is at second, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. It was a nudge, a little flare over the head of third baseman Chris Nelson. The old baseball adage, it'll look like a line drive in the box score. So Ethier, a double to left, a run batted in, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. And the batter now, Shane Victorino. By the way, Shane Victorino, you may remember in that deal with Philadelphia, there was a player to be named later. And the player has been named, a youngster out of the Dodger organization with some meaning behind his name. Victorino takes ball 1. The Dodgers sent minor league infielder Stefan Harin to the Phillies as the player to be named to complete the acquisition of Shane Victorino. Harin is the son of Hall of Fame broadcaster Jorge Harin, grandson of the Hall of Fame broadcaster, and Jaime Harin, proud as you can imagine. Meanwhile, Victorino hits one a ton, and it's going to wind up in the left field seats, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. So it's now 4-0 Dodgers on that big 3-run home run by Shane Victorino. And for Jeff Francis, he has to be shocked. The 11th home run for Victorino, but it came with 2 aboard and no outs in the inning. And the pitch in for a strike. So Gonzalez singled, Ramirez walked, Ethier a flare double, and then Victorino hits one into the left center field seats, and the Dodgers a big 4. Now Francis strike 1 pitch away to Ellis, and he gets it down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike for Francis, the 14th home run that he's allowed this year. The 11th hit by Victorino. The next one high, 2 balls and 1 strike. So an interesting story talking about Shane Victorino, the grandson of Jaime Harin. And Stefan goes to Philadelphia, and Victorino hit the home run while talking about it. Ellis, a high fly ball to right, but it's playable. And over to put it away is Matt McBride. For the Shane Victorino Marching and Chida Society, the Hawaiian, the happy Hawaiian, reaching the seats in left center, trying to climb the wall, Tyler Colvin, but no chance. So the Dodgers leading 4-0 in the second inning. And A.J. Ellis, a long out, will bring up Clayton Kershaw. All the Dodgers can do is win. What happens to the Cardinals is out of their hands. The Cardinals are winning handily in the 8th inning in St. Louis. So even should the Dodgers win, if the Cardinals win, and they certainly look like they're going to do it, the magic number would then be reduced to 3. And there is a note of irony. The pitcher for Washington, who got clobbered by the Cardinals, former Dodger. Breaking ball grounded back at first base. Foul ball, no play. Pacheco knocking it down. Edwin Jackson pitching for Washington, and he was really pushed around. Of course, Edwin's been with so many ball clubs, it's hard to just think of him as a former Dodger. So Kershaw's still there. 0-2 the count. 4 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the Rockies. A single, a walk, a double, and a home run. And the Dodgers have 4. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Kershaw takes in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Jeff Francis with a record of 5-6. Shane Victorino all smiles in the dugout, as well he should be. And the 1-2 pitch just off the plate. 2-2 the count. Jeff Francis had his best year for the Rockies 5 years ago. He was a 17-game winner in 2007. He gets one in there, and that'll be strike 3 to Kershaw, and the second out of the inning. Also the third strikeout for Jeff Francis. Mark Ellis struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. 4 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit for the Rockies. So Mark settling in, waiting on deck, Luis Cruz. 4-0 Dodgers, second inning, and Francis into the windup, and the left-hander's good curveball, but it dipped a little low. A lot of break on that thing from even up here. 1-0 the count to Mark Ellis. Jeff Francis back with a fastball on the hands, and that's going to be a dunker into center. So for Francis, he has given up 2 flares, one to Andre Ethier that went for a double, and now this one off the bat of Mark Ellis, and that'll bring up Luis Cruz. So the Dodgers scoring 16 runs in their last 2 games in San Diego. They had 16 runs on 28 hits, and they carry it right into this one and lead 4-0. Cruz fly deep to right in the first inning, 0 for 1. Francis set at the belt, looks over at first. Now the left-hander's fastball is low, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Louis hitting .307, and now wait a minute. Bo McLaughlin is going out to the mound, the pitching coach. He replaced the very popular Bob Apodaca. McLaughlin has a few words to say to Jeff Francis. Francis in some ways has to feel a little victimized. He tries to hold on to a half a smile as Bo talked to him. I mean, you can't blame him for that little bloop double by Ethier, and now the pop fly single by Ellis. But he did give up that home run to Shane Victorino. He's made 36 pitches. That would mean he's made 27 just in the second inning. So Cruz waiting, 1 ball and no strikes. Francis, a high set, looks over at first, comes to the plate on a towering pop fly in foul ground. Rosario comes back and makes the catch, and that's the inning. But the Dodgers pick up 4. Shane Victorino picks up his 11th home run of the year with 2 men on base. Got what appeared to be a fastball up and out over the plate, and he certainly knew what to do with it. 4-0 Dodgers. thanks to Shane Victorino's 3-run home run. Jeff Francis takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Francis hitting .069. Kershaw walking quickly, comes right back with another fastball strike. Francis has 2 hits. He has only struck out 8 times in about 36 plate appearances, and promptly grounds one wide of third. Cruz is on it and makes the play for the out. The big story in baseball, the early going tonight. Homer Bailey of the Cincinnati Reds pitched a no-hitter against Pittsburgh. Pop fly by Alex Presley to Brandon Phillips, the last out of the game. For Bailey, the 16th in Cincinnati history, and also the first no-hitter of the Pittsburgh Pirates since Bob Gibson no-hit the eventual world champion Bucks back in 1971. Now the batter is the leadoff man, Josh Rutledge. First ball swinging, hits a fly ball to right field, and that's a routine out. 2 down in the 3rd inning. Homer Bailey, throwing the no-hitter tonight against the Pirates in Pittsburgh, was taken 7th overall 8 years ago in the draft. 3 other pitchers in that draft, along with Bailey, have already thrown no-hitters, and 3 of them this year. Justin Verlander in 07 and 11. Philip Humber, his perfect game this year. Then Homer Bailey, and Jared Weaver was also in that draft, and he picked up his. 7 no-hitters this year. The pitch now to Tyler Colvin is in there for a strike, 0-1. For Homer Bailey, among the others, he joins Johnny Vandermeer, who had 2, Ewell Blackwell, George Culver, Jim Maloney, Tom Seaver, and the last one was a perfect game in 1988 by Tom Browning of the Reds against the Dodgers after a 2-hour rain delay. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 7th no-hitter this year. The 1-1 pitch is lined to right. Coming up for it is Ethier to play it on a bounce. So a 2-out single by Tyler Colvin, and that will bring up Jordan Pacheco. One other note, and that'll be that as far as the no-hitter is concerned. A record-tying 7th no-hitter. There was 7 in 1990. There was 7 in 1991, and then we had to wait a while to get 7 more this year. Jordan Pacheco, among other things, does not hang around the plate too often. He struck out in the 1st inning. He averages less than 3.5 pitches in at bat. Sure enough, ground ball to short. He'll get the 4th, and that's that before we can tell you about it. No runs, a hit, a man left, and at the end of 2.5 innings, Dodgers 4, Rockies nothing. AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. Bottom of the third inning, the Dodgers leading 4-0. You're going to say a commanding lead, but not when you look at the Cardinals. Now they have a commanding lead. The Cardinals are leading the Nationals 12-2, and they're still batting in the bottom of the eighth inning. So it's a runaway game in St. Louis. And don't think that Washington is just going through the motion, because Washington and Cincinnati are still battling for home field advantage. Meanwhile, the first pitch to Matt Kemp is swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. Matt struck out in the first inning, hitting .305, 20 home runs for the fourth straight year, and 65 runs batted in. Matt takes a look at a slow breaking ball. 1-1 the count. Francis, both feet on the rubber. Now Jeff comes back 1-1, and that's fouled off. 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. Dodgers, of course, if they come up short, can spend the rest of the fall and winter thinking about what it might have been had Matt Kemp been healthy. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. In fact, Francis thinks better of it. When Kemp starts, the Dodgers are 11 games above 500. When he doesn't start, they're 5 games under 500. He hits a one-hopper, perfectly spotted as LeMahieu to throw him out. So the second baseman in a perfect spot to handle a hard ground ball. One away, and the batter, Adrian Gonzalez. You know, next year's preliminary schedule is available online, highlighted by opening day against the Giants, some great interleague opponents like the Yankees, Red Sox, and Angels. And new season tickets start at just $6. So to place a deposit for next year, speak to a Dodger ticket rep at 323-224-1365 or visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Adrian takes low, ball 1, 1-0. Francis turns on the rubber, and the left-hander's 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 to count. Dodgers trying to continue and add to a little 2-game winning streak and snap a Rockies 4-game winning streak. 1-1 pitch, slow breaking ball, but it stayed up. 2-1 to count. For Adrian, they load up the right side, and yet in San Diego, and they certainly know him well down there, they shaded him to left field in the outfield. This time he just pops it up in shallow right, and waiting out there is LeMahieu to make the catch. So we have 2 down in the third, and Hanley Ramirez coming up.
Shortstop number 13, Hanley Ramirez.
Ramirez walked and rode home on the 3-run home run by Shane Victorino. Two out, bottom of the third, 4-0 Dodgers. Ramirez hitting .252. Francis ready, delivers, and it's foul back, and the count 0-1. Hanley with 24 home runs, so you want to see what he's done against Jeff Francis. He is 0-for-8 with the walk tonight. 0-1 to Hanley. Here comes Francis, bending that pitch off the plate. Came up there only at 71. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Jeff had a lot of physical problems after that great year in 07. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball popped in the air and foul ground. Nelson and Rosario, and Nelson backhands it right in front of the Dodger bench. So the Dodgers go 1-2-3, and at the end of 3, 4-0 Dodgers. They are not only leading the Rockies, they are celebrating Tommy Lasorda's 85th birthday. Tony Orlando leading the crowd and singing happy birthday. Clayton Kershaw having to take a few extra warm-up tosses while show business arrived. And in a moment, we'll get the ball game underway. It'll be Willen Rosario, Chris Nelson, and then Matt McBride in the fourth inning. Rosario has a lot of power, 27 home runs. If he gets ahead in the count, he's very much a tough hitter and takes a strike, 0-1. He has 13 home runs against left-hand pitching. Now the strike one pitch on the way to Willen, and the right-hand hitter, 1 ball, 1 strike. For Rosario, he has 18 of his 27 home runs have been hit in Colorado. Willen Rosario. Foul ball off his foot. We mentioned at the very start of the game some familiar names are certainly missing and being missed for Colorado. Troy Tulowitzki, of course, hasn't played since the end of May. Carlos Gonzalez has a hamstring pull, so he's not playing. Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, has a bad wrist. They lost Todd Helton earlier this year with a bad hip. And down goes Rosario. We have a trivia question for you. Chance for you to get the thinking cap on. Willen Rosario has 27 home runs. Okay. Only 3 rookie catchers have hit more. Who are they? Give you the answer in a little while. Now the batter is Chris Nelson. Nelson hitting .302, 9 home runs, 52 runs batted in, ball 1. Chris made a big impact when he first joined the Rockies. One of his first games he stole home. 1-1 to count. Rockies are trying very hard not to lose the remaining 6 games. I mean, really, you can say one loss is as bad as another, but nobody wants to be on a ball club that lost 100 games. They come into this game having lost 94. Good fastball at 93. 1-2. There was one year, not too many years ago, the Dodgers lost 99 games. But nobody likes the stigma of 100. 2-2 the count. Two and two. Ground foul outside at third. So Rosario, Nelson, and McBride with the Dodgers 4 runs, 4 hits. Rockies no runs, 2 hits. Kershaw trying to win his 13th. 3-2 the count. One out, bases empty. Foul back. Still 3-2 the count. Blanton and Beckett will be following tomorrow and Sunday. Still 3-2. Kershaw throwing hard. That was 95. So he is letting it fly. You look at Kershaw tonight and you think, well, if he follows the rotation, what he has done normally all year, his 5th day, the day of pitching, would be against the Giants, the last game of the year. Whether that's important or not remains to be seen. Three and two. Foul back. So Nelson hanging very tough against those fastballs. 95, 94, 93. This is 93, and he's getting enough. And boy, that took a sting to Todd Tishner. 3 and 2. And finally puts him away. So Nelson gave it quite a battle, but the fastball gets him. And will be Matt McBride. McBride struck out in the 2nd inning. So Kershaw struck out the side in the 2nd inning. He has 2 strikeouts here in the 4th. And that's fouled away, 0-1. So Clayton with a half a dozen strikeouts with 2 out in the 4th inning. Mercifully, the game is over in St. Louis. The Cardinals pounded Washington 12-2. And that was an important defeat for Washington. Another foul ball. Remember, we told you Washington and Cincinnati are battling for home field advantage, and they are now in a flat-footed tie for the best record in the National League. So there's still some pretty important games to be played. We'll see if Washington can bounce back tomorrow. Meanwhile, all the Dodgers can do is win. The number is 3. Any combination, Dodger losses, Cardinal wins, and that'll be that. Trio of Dodgers, Mark Ellis right behind Adrian Gonzalez. 1-2-3 inning in the 4th, and at the end of 3.5, it's still 4-0 Dodgers. Performance by Clayton Kershaw. 52 pitches in 4 innings, and he has struck out a half a dozen. And leading 4-0, he has to get the 5th inning under his belt to qualify for his 13th win. Andre Ethier in the 2nd inning hit a little floater, a flare, just over the head of third baseman Crick Nelson. By the time it landed, Ethier had himself a double and a run batted in. And then Shane Victorino followed that with a home run into the left center field seats. Ball 1. Andre hitting .283. That's in the dirt. New ball put in play. 2 balls and no strikes. Jeff Francis now made 50 pitches. .2-0 pitch. Foul back. 2-1 to Andre. Ethier in yesterday's game, when the Dodgers piled up the 14 hits, one of those frustrating games that happens to everybody, he went 0 for 5. So he's a little hungry now. 2-1. Slow breaking ball off the plate. 3-1. You know, it's a kind of a surprising number about the Dodgers. You know, they have been involved in 54 games, 1/3 of the year, 54 games that have been decided by 1 run. How'd they come out? Well, right now, 28 wins, 26 losses. 3-2 to Andre. Victorino and A.J. Ellis to follow. On the hands, a hopper to the hole, smothered there by Rutledge. A throw, however, too high, and for Ethier, he'll come up with another base hit. So Andre Ethier aboard on a shot to the hole at short. Nice stop by Rutledge, but he's really out of the play. And then that hurried throw ballooned, and there was no chance for Pacheco to stay on the bag. So Ethier 2 for 2, and here's Shane Victorino. Victorino bothered with wrist problems, crashing into a wall on the road trip. That sat him down for a couple of days. Even last night in San Diego, there were a couple of times that Shane swung and you knew his wrists hurt. He went 1 for 4 last night with a double his last time up. Victorino hitting .251, 11 home runs, 55 runs batted in. And that's going to be a dropper into left center for a base hit. Ethier on his way to third, and he is in there. The ball gets away on the throw. Victorino goes into second, and the Dodgers are in business. Second and third, nobody out. So a single for Victorino. Kind of banjoed the ball. It wasn't hit that hard, but nevertheless it drops in. Ethier goes to third. The ball hits the top of Ethier's helmet right there. Thank goodness he was wearing the helmet. Down to second base goes Victorino. Boy, and I can remember when they first started and commanded players to wear the helmets, and they argued they didn't want to wear them. And over the years, we've seen players avoid so many injuries because of the helmet. So here's Ellis, and a strike. Second and third, nobody out. Dodgers 4 runs, 6 hits. No runs, 2 hits for the Rockies. Dodgers trying to win their 82nd game and even up their books with the Rockies. Rockies have won 8 and the Dodgers 7. Dodgers had a bad time in Denver. Rockies beat them 6 out of 9. Never mind they're in last place. They beat them 6 out of 9, period. Guillermo Moscoso begins to warm up now. Jeff Francis doesn't figure to be around very long. He's also due to bat third in the 5th inning. 2-1. Ethier down the line from third. Victorino at second. Nobody out. Gibson to load the bases. So Francis has one getaway, and the bases are loaded for Jeff Francis, who's been on the wild side anyway. He now has hit 8 batters. So A.J. goes to first. For Ellis, as far as being hit by pitches, that would be the 6th time that he's been hit. So here's Kershaw, bases loaded, nobody out, 4-0 Dodgers. Ball 1. Andre Ethier at third, Shane Victorino at second, A.J. Ellis at first, nobody out. 4-0 Dodgers, 4th inning. Little roller foul. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the series. Tyler Chatwood, 5-5 against Joe Blanton, 9-13. And then Sunday afternoon, Jorge De La Rosa against Josh Beckett. So Blanton peering over the railing. Slow breaking ball. 1-2 the count. That was only 72 miles an hour. Ethier, Victorino, Ellis, all at the ready. Curveball, little dribbler down to second. They will get one. They will be in time to get 2. Wow. Well, it's 5-0 Dodgers, and let's leave it at that. An old pal, Brian Gorman at first. You be the judge of this. There's one. Brian, the crew chief, he's got 21 years under his belt. And you can see the foot's on the bag just before it gets to the glove. But every time we show you that, you realize we're showing this high-priced technique to break it down in the slowest of motion, where the umpire has one quick decision to make, period. Well, Brian has been doing it over 20 years. His dad, Tom Gorman, a marvelous and lovable umpire. Can you say lovable umpire? Or is that an oxymoron? Well, Brian is a terrific guy anyway. Kershaw gets a run batted in. Dodgers now lead 5-0. Victorino down the line from third, and a foul ball. In real speed to look at that play at first. That's what he saw, and you can hear Kershaw. What? There you can see. He's on the bag, and the ball isn't in the glove. But again, we always point up the equipment we need to show an umpire's failure, to me, always highlights how great they are. And a drive to center, but right there is Tyler Colvin, and that'll be that. By the way, since it was a double play, there'll be no DP for Clayton Kershaw. However, he's got a cushion, 5-0, as he goes to work in the 5th inning. Elton John performs to a sold-out Dodger Stadium on back-to-back nights. The highlight of the show, John's costume, of course.
Elton John actually wore the Dodgers sequin uniform, and so whenever you see a picture of that concert, people just love the fact that he customized his look for the venue. I think it's the only time anybody ever wore a sequin Dodger uniform, and he got away with it and made it look great.
5-0 in favor of the Dodgers. A Friday night crowd full of beans. We'll have our last fireworks show of the year, celebrating Tommy Lasorda's birthday, and the Dodgers leading 5-0 in the 5th inning. Clayton Kershaw has struck out 6, and he has been very much on his game. 1 walk, and he's allowed 2 hits. Jeff Francis, due to be the 3rd hitter in the inning, down 5-0. We'll see. Right, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. 1-1. Andrew Brown walked in the 2nd. One and 2. Andrews from Dallas, Texas, went to the University of Nebraska and was actually originally selected and signed by the Cardinals. Rockies claimed him off waivers. 1-2. 2-2. Brown just celebrated his 28th birthday. He was with the Cardinals last year, only in 11 games. Three and 2 the count. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Rockies. Shane Victorino, 3-run home run back in the 2nd inning. High fastball takes care of him. That was 94 miles an hour. It is the 7th strikeout for Kershaw. And LeMahieu coming up. The so-called high hard one was just that. LeMahieu hitting .292, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Foul ball. LeMahieu, David John, lives in Michigan, went to school at LSU, but he was born up the road in Visalia. And promptly hits it into right field, base hit. So DJ, 1-out single to right. Due up is Jeff Francis. Charlie Blackmon will be coming up to bat for him, and that certainly figured.
Attention, please, for the Rockies. Batting for Francis, number 8, Charlie Blackmon.
So Jeff Francis has a forgettable night. It wasn't that he was hit that hard. You know, Ethier had the bloop. There was also a pop fly single by Victorino. There was an infield single by Ethier. It was just one of those games. Then he got hurt with a home run by Victorino. Charlie hitting .275. He has 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. 0-1. Charlie was up early, went down. Now he's back. Keeping an eye on LeMahieu. 5-0 Dodgers, 5th inning. Kershaw, 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings. Or the other way, he struck out 7 while getting the 13 outs. Fouled at the plate, 0-2. High strikeout for Clayton Kershaw this year. He had 12. That was way back in early June against Seattle. His high in his career 3 years ago. He had 13 against the Giants. He had a 10 strikeout game against the Giants the end of August. 0-2 to count to Charlie Blackmon. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Ramirez. The throw is in time. So a nice play by Hanley Ramirez to take a base hit away from Blackmon and turn it into a fourth play. First he had to go and get it, then he had to throw accurately while backing away, and just did get it to Ellis. So LeMahieu is forced, and the batter will be Josh Rutledge. Rutledge grounded to short, flied to right. Josh 0 for 2, hitting .285. Kershaw trying to get the third out, finish off the inning. Fastball, and he's got a good one working for sure. That was 93. Josh Rutledge, born in Birmingham and lives in Coleman, Alabama. Last year, his first year as a pro. Last year, among other things, he had a 27-game hitting streak. 1 ball, 1 strike. Did that for the Modesto Nuts. They have great names for these teams. Blackmon at first, 2 out, 5th inning, 5-0 Dodgers. Cardinals wallop Washington 12-2. That's a strike. 1-2. Tried to get a changeup over, but didn't come close. And the count 2-2. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Couple of bloopers. Good clean single by Gonzalez, and a long home run by Shane Victorino with 2 aboard. That's been the big blow. Fouled away. So Josh Rutledge, who started playing 2010, but then last year really settled in at Modesto. He hit .348. That caught everybody's eye, and here he is hitting .285 in the big league. Meanwhile, Jeff Francis will have to wait another 5 days, meaning the last game of the season, if he's to go to the mound again. Ground ball to the hole, smothered by Cruz. The play is for first, way too late. So that's a single for Josh Rutledge. He's 1 for 3. And the batter will be Tyler Colvin, and he is a good one. Cruz scraping his hand. Juggled, but Rutledge runs very, very well. So for Colorado, it's only the second time tonight that they've had 2 men on in 1 inning. They had first and second with 2 out in the second inning. Tyler Colvin, good young player, fouled out, single to right, hitting .291. And he has the power to get the Rockies back in the game. That fastball at 94. 0-1 to Tyler. very much a good-looking young ball player. Tyler's out of Augusta, Georgia, went to Clemson University. .6'3", 200-pounder, 27 years old. Fastball's up and in. So Kershaw going right after him. No balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Colvin's grandfather is certainly a collector of Colvin items. He has every one of his jerseys framed, every trophy he's ever won, every baseball card. I mean, he really is the collector of Colvin memorabilia. 1-2. Colvin came up with the Cubs 3 years ago, very briefly. Then had a full year and hit .254. Then something happened the next year. He hit .150. But here he is hitting .291 for Colorado. He's got a lot of power. He had 20 home runs 2 years ago for the Cubs. 1-2. Fastball got him looking. Whoa. And now with 95, so you talk about being left at the station as the train went by. That's exactly what happened. No runs, 2 hits, and see you later. It's 5-0 Dodgers. Much of a one-sided matchup. Clayton Kershaw has really brought a fastball to the dance tonight with 8 strikeouts to overpower the Rockies so far. Francis victimized a little bit. That bloop double by Ethier hurt him, but then the home run by Victorino went into the left center field seats. But in matching them up, why, Clayton Kershaw definitely the winner going up against Francis. Now Guillermo Moscoso will take over and try to restore a little order here. Luis Cruz at the plate. And a strike. Cruz fly deep to right and fouled out. Hitting .305. 5 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Foul ball out of play. Dodgers scored 4 in the second, 1 more in the fourth. Matt Kemp waiting on deck. And a base hit into right field. So Cruz 1 for 3 with a single to right. And the batter will be Matt Kemp.
Center fielder number 27, Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp struck out in the second inning, hit it very hard, but position is everything. And LeMahieu was right there to handle it. Not quite all the way up the middle, but almost. Matt batting .304. Ball 1. Moscoso in relief of the starter, down 5-0. Sliced foul off to the right, out of play. Guillermo Moscoso made his first relief appearance the middle of August. He's been in 18 games. Spent most of the remainder of this year in Colorado Springs. Another foul ball, 1-2 the count. Hitting behind Matt Kemp, Adrian Gonzalez. If you missed it, the Cardinals won and won big, 12-2 over Washington. Edwin Jackson, a former Dodger pitcher, was spun around by the Cardinals, and that reduced the magic number now to 3. Right-hand batters have hit Moscoso pretty hard, hitting better than .321 against him. Down at Kemp's feet. The Cruz greeted him with a base hit to right, and now Kemp. Actually, Moscoso's had a lot of trouble against both left and right. .321 right-handers, and the left-handers are hitting .302 against him. And you have Adrian Gonzalez on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. $5-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 5th. Check swing. They'll appeal. No swing, says Brian. 3-2 to count. Guillermo Moscoso from Maracay in Venezuela. That, of course, was a hometown for Bobby Abreu, but he now lives in Florida. Three and two. We'll see about Cruz. He's not going. On ball 4. So a base hit followed by a walk. Moscoso is in trouble. Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Don't forget Sunday, Fan Appreciation Day. The Dodgers saluting the True Blue faithful with some fantastic prizes, including a 1-year lease on a brand new Lexus, 2013 season tickets, autograph memorabilia, and so much more. For tickets, list of prizes, and official rules, visit Dodgers.com/fan appreciation today. Adrian Gonzalez with 2 on, nobody out, 5th inning, and the Dodgers trying to add to a 5-0 lead. Cruz and Kemp out on the lines, and that's a strike. Gonzalez singled to center and popped up. 1 for 2, batting .280. Moscoso out there on the mound was originally drafted by Detroit. Guillermo, 29. Way out in front is Adrian on that off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Hitting behind Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez. 0-2. And ball 1. Jeff Francis went 4. Charged with the 5 runs. Moscoso in trouble, first and second, nobody out. They're going to check. No swing, says Tony Randazza. 2-2 the count to Adrian Gonzalez. Hanley Ramirez waiting quietly. And a high fly ball, but very playable. Tyler Colvin, the center fielder. The runners are not going anywhere. And 1 away. So Gonzalez goes back empty-handed. 1 for 3 for the night. Hanley Ramirez walked and fouled out. Hanley made a good play on the ball hit by Charlie Blockman to get a force play on LeMahieu in the 5th inning. Dodgers, of course, during the offseason, during spring training, will have to make some decisions. You have D. Gordon just itching to play, but he hasn't had a chance. You have Ramirez, a regular shortstop who played third and is now playing short this year. So you could say, oh, well, they'll give the shortstop job to D. Gordon and then move Hanley Ramirez to third, but not so quick. Now when you have Louis Cree playing great at third base and hitting over 300. He can't play second base. And probably Mark Ellis is the best defensive infielder the Dodgers have. So a problem. Fastball hit to right center and deep. Colvin on the track at the wall, and it's caught instead by right fielder McBride. And tagging up and moving over to third is Cruz. It looked like Colvin, the center fielder, was in charge, and it was McBride at the last minute who reaches up and makes a great catch. So Ramirez sends 2 outfielders to the wall, and McBride comes up with a dandy. The ball slicing, and McBride driven to his knees and then got it back in. A fine play by Matt McBride. No chance of the ball going out, but it was about a foot or less from the top. Huge play. As we mentioned earlier, they have some fine young players just starting out, and Ramirez certainly would attest to that. Well, that's the defensive play of the night. Cruz is now at third, and the batter is Andre Ethier. Change in for a strike. 0-1. Andre, a little bloop double over the head of Chris Nelson, and then a single of the hole at short in the 4th. Both hits against left-handed Jeff Francis. He'll take them both. I mean, they were Christmas presents, especially considering Andre's struggles against left-handers. 1-1. In case you missed it, Cardinals won easy, 12-2. The number's 3. Dodgers trying to keep it at 3 by winning tonight. and they're leading 5-0. They have Cruz at third and Kemp at first. 1-1. And looked like another change up. Ball 2. Guillermo Moscoso. Two and two. Fastball down at 92. Moscoso out there on the mound, originally signed by Detroit, finally made it to the big leagues with Texas. Then he went to Oakland. So now in his 4th organization. A fake and a look. Moscoso, 6'1", 200-pounder. Two and two. And pop foul off to the left, and we'll go back into the crowd. So deuce should remain wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Dodgers lead 5-0 here in the 5th inning. Dodgers have averaged a little over 41,000 a game. They've drawn 3,100,000, and hopefully we'll have a chance to spend a little more time with you between now and next Wednesday. 2 and 2. And there's a line drive backhanded by Rutledge. So the hardest hit ball that Ethier hits is caught. The Dodgers lead 2 on a great catch by McBride, and it's 5-0 Dodgers. The Dodgers with Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, and Oral Hershiser pitched 10 scoreless innings to break Don Drysdale's mark. Remember, Don had made 58 2/3. Well, Oral went 59. The last out, Keith Moreland of San Diego hit a fly ball to Jose Gonzalez in right field. I can still see Oral dropping to his knee when the final out was made. And then the highlight, Don Drysdale hugged him and interviewed him in the post-game show. Wow, what a night. Let's go back to this one. So Clayton Kershaw extending himself, working on Pacheco. Jordan Pacheco hitting .308 and a strike. Couple of things about Pacheco. He is definitely a contact hitter. He makes contact on something like close to 90% of his swings. He has only struck out 50 some odd times this year, and he's well over 500 plate appearances. When they strike him out, a lot of times it's a call third strike. 2-2. And normally he doesn't hang around too long. We mentioned earlier, averages a little more than 3 pitches in that bat, but he's certainly making it pay off. Hitting .308, 5 home runs, 52 runs batted in. And a high fly ball, a trio of Dodgers. Kemp has the play. Now he has the ball. 1 away. Remember the trivia question? We were talking about Willen Rosario with his 27 home runs, and only 3 rookie catchers have hit more. Who are they? Well, Mike Piazza, if you remember for sure, then Earl Williams and Matt Noakes. Here's Willen right now. He doubled and struck out. And a strike. We told you that he has 13 home runs against left-handers. 18 of his 27 have been hit at home. 0-1 to count. Pop fly into shallow right. Another trio of Dodgers. Ellis will defer to Ethier. 2 out. And the batter now will be Chris Nelson. Nelson has had a tough night against Kershaw, but then again, he would get online with an awful lot of players about whom you could say the same thing. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Second week in September, Nelson was the player of the week. He's hitting .301. During that period, he had .560. He had 21 total bases. And he is promptly in a hole, 0-2. So that's got to be a tough spot. You've struck out twice. You go up the third time thinking, okay, now's the time. And you're immediately in a hole, 0-2. One and two. The Rockies have lost a lot of talent. Tulowitzki, Helton, Carlos Gonzalez, Dexter Fowler. 2-2 the count. They are trying not to lose the last 6 games, as we mentioned. They don't want to lose 100. Two and two to Chris Nelson with Matt McBride on deck. Fastball hit up the middle. So Nelson, after striking out twice, inherits a no ball 2 strike count, battles it to 2-2, and then singles. And Matt McBride, who made that dazzling catch on the ball hit by Ramirez, coming up. So Nelson at first. McBride struck out and popped up. Matt hitting .234. And first ball swinging, pop fly. Ramirez, McBride is going to go out to Mark Ellis. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left. 5.5 innings in the books, and it belongs to Kershaw, 5-0. Second inning, after Ethier had the flare double to drive in a run, Shane Victorino hit one in the seats in left center, a 3-run home run to give the Dodgers a 4-0 lead. They've added one more since and lead 5-0, and Shane will start it off. He had a base hit to center in the 4th inning as well. So Victorino hitting .253 with 11 home runs, 55 runs batted in. We were talking about Dodger decisions after the games when they're over on Wednesday and during the fall and winter, and we were talking about shortstop. But you also wonder about left field next year. The word seems to be, Carl Crawford. He'll be over the Tommy John surgery. He'll be the left fielder. But you only play 3 outfielders. And Victorino said, I will not be a 4th outfielder. So we'll see. 2-0 the count to Shane. The flying Hawaiian. Sliced foul off to the left out of play. 2-1 to count. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Rockies. For the Rockies, of course, to be shut out is a little newsy because they play in Colorado. They've actually been shut out 4 times at home and 9 times this year. Hard ground ball. Nice play there by LeMahieu. 1 away, and A.J. Ellis coming up. Be sure to visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at a World Series game. Presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of MLB. 1 away, here's Ellis. Slide to right, hit by a pitch, 0 for 1. That's a strike. Fouled away. Looking back over the series with Colorado, the Dodgers had 1 successful stretch. That's all. They won 3 in a row in the middle of May. If you add 1 more in a loss, you could say they won 4 of 6. But after that, they've really scrambled against a team that has turned out to be last place. 1-2. And when the dust settles, the Dodgers were pushed around in Denver. Rockies won 6 of 9. Dodgers have done pretty well here. They won 4 of 6, but you put it all together, and the Rockies still have an edge on them. 2-2. We told you that the Giants beat the Rockies 14 of 18. Philadelphia beat the Rockies 7 out of 9. Atlanta 6 out of 7. That's a base hit. So A.J. Ellis, a sharp single to right. He's 1 for 2. And the batter will be Clayton Kershaw.
Pitcher number 22, Clayton Kershaw.
In the Western Division, the Rockies hold an advantage over the Dodgers and only over the Dodgers. They're behind Arizona, San Diego, San Francisco. Kershaw struck out, hit into a double play, 0 for 2. Shows bunt, but no action. 1 ball and no strikes to Clayton Kershaw. Checking with Tim Wallach. Got the bunt down. The play, a look, and then goes to first. So Kershaw sacrificing Ellis for the second out, and the batter will be Mark Ellis coming up. A couple of minutes ago, we were talking about this day in Dodger history. Orel Hershiser shutting out San Diego to break Don Drysdale's mark. On the same day in 1962, Maury Wills stole his record 104 base of the season. And then a year later, Tommy Davis finished with a .326 batting average, becoming the youngest player to win consecutive batting titles at the age of 24. 62 and 63. 62, the Giants broke the Dodgers' hearts. 63, the Dodgers wrecked the Yankees. That's right. No balls and 1 strike. Mark Ellis struck out, single, fly to center, hitting .259, trying to come back from the flu. 0-1. 0-2. When the Rockies come up in the 7th inning, it'll be the bottom of the lineup. Andrew Brown, DJ LeMahieu, and then Moscoso's spot. No balls and 2 strikes. They had a big night in Atlanta tonight, saluting Chipper Jones, who will call it a career, but Atlanta not ready to call it a season. 0-2 the count. Mark Ellis, 7 home runs, 31 runs batted in, and Rosario and Moscoso putting their heads together. Check the scoreboard to see if Atlanta won that game, because they had won 5 straight. And it was a big night in Atlanta. However, they lost. So that spoiled the night for Chipper Jones, but only for a moment. 0-2 to Mark Ellis. Ball 1. So AJ at second base, Mark at the plate, 5-0 Dodgers, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Luis Cruz on deck. One and 2. Fastball off the plate at 92. 2-2 to Mark. Mark has appeared in 105 games. They make sure they rest him a little bit, keep him sharp, as we mentioned. The best defensive infielder the Dodgers have. Two and 2. Mark Ellis originally came up to the big leagues in 2002. He's 35, from South Dakota. So they want to make sure he gets plenty of rest. And down he goes. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 6, as AJ trots off, Dodgers lead 5-0. Tonight. It started in the first inning against Jordan Pacheco with a breaking ball. Then he took care of Messrs. Nelson, McBride, and LeMahieu. Moved on to get Rosario and Nelson. And then to the fifth inning, struck out Brown and Colvin. So 8 strikeouts for Clayton. And he takes the mound here in the 7th inning, leading 5-0. As we mentioned, his strikeout high this year, he had 12 against Seattle. His career high 13 3 years ago against the Giants. He also had 10 against the Giants this year, the 20th of August. So Clayton, who had the sore hip, but obviously it has not bothered him, although he was saying that he would feel it when he stepped with his right leg, and when his foot made contact with the ground, the right foot, then he would feel it on that weight-bearing hip. 0-1 to Andrew Brown. He has walked and struck out. The headline, in case you missed it earlier, Homer Bailey of the Reds against the Pirates in Pittsburgh pitched a no-hitter. 16th in the history of the Reds, the 7th no-hitter this year in the big leagues. There was one maybe disputed play, we're not sure, but the first base runner in the 3rd inning against Bailey hit a hard ground ball. It's a former member of the Rockies, Clint Barmas. Remember Clint? Played short. Anyway, Clint Barmas hit a one-hopper. Scott Rowland tried to backhand it. It went off his glove. They ruled it an error. And of course that was and there's usually one debate during a no-hitter. 3-1 the count to Andrew Brown, and that one makes it ball 4. That will be the second walk given up. The other walk came back in the 2nd inning to Andrew Brown. So here's LeMahieu. Struck out, single to right. DJ David John. Hitting .296, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. And ball 1. LeMahieu pretty tall for a second baseman. He's 6'4". He can play third. He can also play short. Went to LSU on a baseball scholarship. In the dirt again, ball 2. Dodgers now, well, there's nobody throwing, but a couple of guys get up and walk around. The pitch count, he is up to 94. And now you can see there is a little movement. Sean Tollison. And he will begin to play catch with Matt Trainer. In looking at Kershaw's pitch count prior to tonight, 92 pitches in 5 innings in Cincinnati, 105 in Arizona. Before that, 116 in San Diego. Strike, 2-1. As far as the greatest number of pitches he has made in one game, at first glance it would be 117, but that's way back in May. 2-1. Comebacker right between his legs. He gets 1, they get 2. There's a highlight. Whoa. Kershaw with a little smile on his face. We'll take a look at that one. He's going to turn and catch it between his legs, so he's in position to throw to Mark Ellis. Crowd loves it. Moscoso is going to come up now with the bases empty. But that was Plato. Wow, says Clayton. You bet it was. 1-4-3. So 2 out. And Moscoso hitting .222. That's a strike. Moscoso has had 9 at bats. He has 2 hits, one of them a double, and he has a run batted in. Dodgers lead 5-0, top of the 7th. 2 out, 7th inning. And a pop fly. Cruz is there. So thanks to the double play, a turnaround double play by Clayton Kershaw, it's still 5-0 Dodgers. Kershaw has been pitching, and almost everybody in the act. Matt Kemp 0 for 2, but he has walked, and the same for Hanley Ramirez. He's also walked and robbed of a hit on that great leaping catch by Matt McBride in right field. Kershaw might be 0 for 2, hit into a double play, but then made the defensive highlight play of the night. Meanwhile, Josh Renicky will take over on the mound. He is the son of a good pal of ours, ex-major leaguer Gary Renicky, who is now a fine scout, and the nephew of Ron Renicky, who is now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Luis Cruz flied to right, fouled out, single to right. Clayton Kershaw has now made exactly 100 pitches through 7 innings. A little fly ball to left field could be trouble, but catching up to it now is Andrew Brown. The Crews a little pop fly, 1 out in the 7th. Matt Kemp is 0 for 2. Matt struck out, grounded out, and walked. Matt batting .304, 20 home runs, 65 runs batted in. And a strike, 0-1. Josh Renicky, ideal height for a big league pitcher, 6'3", 200-pounder. Just turned 30. Went to school at UCLA. And a fly ball into shallow right center. Colvin is there. So 2 down on fly balls here in the 7th inning. And the batter will be Adrian Gonzalez. Be sure to visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear. That means official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and so much more. So get your team gear straight from the source. Shop thedodgers.com/shop. Adrian single to center, popped up, fly to center. Josh Renicky getting 2 quick outs. When Renicky was at UCLA, he was the closer and he was also the center fielder at the strike. He also played football. He was a wide receiver at UCLA. He finally gave up football after he failed to have a catch in 2 seasons. Still 0-2 the count. So Renicky, who came up back-to-back years 08 and 9 with the Reds, then had one brief time with the Blue Jays, the Rockies last year, and back up again. It's been a battle for him. 10th round pick by Cincinnati. 0-93 on that foul ball. Oh, and 2 to Adrian Gonzalez. They're going to call him out on that. Adrian is shocked, just standing there, but it is strike 3, so the inning is over. And at the end at 7, it's still 5-0 Dodgers. At first, through the legs of Kershaw, who's in perfect position to throw back to second base, and then they turn the DP. He had that big saying wow to no one in particular. And of course, the other great highlight play was the catch by Matt McBride, the ball hit by Ramirez. That was something. Top of the order, Josh Rutledge 1 for 3. Then Tyler Colvin and Jordan Pacheco. Kershaw's change 0-2. Kenley Jansen begins to warm up. Kershaw has now made 102 pitches, and Jansen in the wings. 1-2 the count to Josh Rutledge. Clayton tonight has walked 2. He has struck out 8. He has worked the 6th and the 7th, however, without a strikeout. That's fouled off. Still 1-2. The Cardinals won. I mean, they beat up on Washington 12-2. Edwin Jackson, at one time a Dodger, ironically, was the starting pitcher for Washington. So the magic number, even though the Dodgers might win this game, will be reduced to 3. Not a thing they can do about it except play and win. As we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals are a very, very, very good ball club at home. By winning tonight, the Cardinals at home are 47-29, 18 games above 500. The Dodgers, they're 5 above 500. Huge difference. Kershaw, a little problem in the landing area. 2-2. Fastball hit late over the bag. Adrian to Kershaw. Nice play. In looking at the wild card standings, as you can see, the Dodgers for the moment 3.5, because the Cardinal game is already over. That half, like a shirt tail hanging out, will disappear if the Dodgers hold on. Milwaukee down by 5, so they're really running out of time. So the Dodgers will trail by 3 should they win the game, and the magic number will be 3. Tyler Colvin fouled out, single, struck out, 1 for 3. Over at third base, Rich Dower. We were talking about Rich at the start of the game, and he hasn't had a visitor yet. Not yet, with 1 out in the 8th inning. That's a strike. 0-2. Rosario doubled in the 2nd inning and stayed right there. They've only had 2 men forced at second, and no one has gotten to third. Whoops. Kershaw working on his 3rd shutout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, that big, slow breaking ball. That's strikeout number 9. That's his first strikeout since the 5th inning, and it's the 2nd time. If you remember the first at bat with Colvin in the 5th inning, he was caught looking at a fastball right down the middle. So this time, no doubt, he was thinking, okay, I'm set for the fastball, and it was a deer in the headlights, that slow curve. So Clayton, obviously nothing wrong with him. He made 110 pitches, and with 2 out, here's Pacheco. Pacheco has struck out, hit into a force play, and flied out. Half swing, that's many a strike. Those who have avoided the strikeout, Josh Rutledge, the shortstop. and the pitcher spot. Francis hit the ball. The pinch hitter Blackman hit the ball. And the second pitcher, Moscoso, hit the ball and popped up. So 2 pitchers have come to the plate and have not struck out. See ya. 10 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw before 37,133, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. Congratulating him, so we assume he will call it a night. 113 pitches, a 5-hit shutout, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts as he was on his way to his 13th win. It would make him 4-1 against the Rockies here at Dodger Stadium and improve on an earned run average here of 1.7 against Colorado. It's been Francis, Moscoso, Renicky, and now Will Harris. Will Harris is from Houston, Texas. He was drafted out of LSU, lives in Slidell, Louisiana. Big boy, 6'4", 225-pounder. And the Dodgers will start with Hanley Ramirez. 0-1. Ramirez walked and scored a run, popped up, then hit a ball to the wall in right center. Both Tyler Colvin and Matt McBride racing towards the spot, and McBride made a wonderful catch for the out. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last inning, while Kershaw was working, we saw Kenley Jansen. However, right now, it's not Jansen, it's Sean Tollison. Jansen made 13 pitches last night, pitching the 7th inning, so it's Tollison up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit home plate, 2-1 the count. Fastball fouled away. So Hanley Ramirez, 24 home runs, 91 runs batted in, hitting .251. Interesting, in each of the last 3 innings he pitched, It took Kershaw 13 pitches each inning, and he winds up making 113. Meanwhile, Hanley tagged out. Down he goes. So Harris picks up a K, and the batter will be Andre Ethier. Will Harris did not play ball in 2010. He was injured. Tomorrow, remember a 6-10 game. Tyler Chatwood 5-5, Joe Blanton 9-13, and the Dodgers hoping to beat the Rockies, and they're also hoping that somehow Washington would possibly be able to beat St. Louis. So it'll be another big assignment for another Dodger pitcher, and this time Blanton. Meanwhile, Ethier hits one into center. That would be his third hit of the night. The hardest hit ball that Andre hit was in the 5th inning, and Josh Rutledge, the shortstop, took a hit away from him. And here comes Shane Victorino. He certainly gave the Dodgers a big boost in the 2nd inning. They were leading 1-0. He came up with 2 on and hit his 11th home run of the year. Pick up a 3-run home run and a 4-0 lead. Dodgers added another in the 4th inning, and that's been it. And ball 1. So Francis, Moscoso, Renicky, and Harris. That's a strike. 1-1. And that was in the dirt. It wasn't touched. So Victorino swings at a wild pitch, and taking second is Ethier. Take another look. Big curveball, just got away. One ball and 2 strikes to Shane Victorino. Will Harris working on the Dodger left fielder. When the Rockies come up in the 9th inning, they will have Rosario, Nelson, and McBride. They have 2 hits amongst them. Two and two. Five runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. Fastball up and in at 91 takes care of Victorino. So 2 out, 2 strikeouts for Will Harris, and the batter is A.J. Ellis.
Catcher number 17, A.J.
Ellis flied to right, hit by a pitch, and single to right. Joe Blanton tomorrow night, another big assignment, going up against Tyler Chatwood. Chatwood, who pitches tomorrow night, by the way, is from Redlands. Committed to a baseball scholarship to UCLA. He was chosen by the Angels about 6 years ago. So it'll be Tyler Chatwood trying to throw a monkey wrench into the Dodger plans. Little dribbler foul. Still 0-2. In fact, 2 years ago, the Angels were so high on Chatwood that he was their minor league pitcher of the year. He was 6-11 with the Angels last year. There he is behind the pole. You can see him in profile. Tomorrow night you'll see him on the mound. Tyler Chatwood. In high school, he had elbow surgery. That's going to be another wild pitch, and it's going to go into the dugout. So Harris committed a wild pitch to get Ethier to second. He's now come up with a wild pitch to get him to third. And A.J. Ellis up there 1-2 with Bobby Abreu on deck. 2 out, 5-0 Dodgers. Harris had 2 wild pitches coming into the game. And a drive to left and deep, going back. It's over his head is Brown against the wall. On his way to second base, and in there with the slide is Ellis. His second hit, a run batted in, and the Dodgers lead 6-0. A.J. Ellis, remember, on the road, and it had to be the heat and the long year. He fell into an 0-for-30 slump. Well, he's out of the slump. Last night he had a double and 2 singles. And then tonight he has a single and a double. So for the Dodgers, happy that their catcher has regained some strength. And here's Bobby Abreu batting for Kershaw. 6-0 Dodgers. And ball 1. Maybe a little anger on that pitch from Will Harris. Six runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers. And ball 2. So the Dodgers scored 16 runs in the last 2 games in San Diego and 6 more tonight. 22 runs in the last 3 games. Two balls, no strikes. Ball 3. On deck, Mark Ellis. 37,133 watching Clayton Kershaw pitch a brilliant 8 innings. Striking out 10, walking 2. He was dazzling. He had it all working. That's in there, 3-1. To repeat, when the Rockies come up in the 9th, Rosario, Nelson, and McBride. It just seems strange not to say Helton, Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez, Dexter Fowler. And a drive to right, and it's fair. It's gone. He hit it a mile. It is gone. And that's a see you later to that fastball that almost hit him on the first pitch. And the Dodgers lead 8-0. And Bobby's going to take his time and enjoy the ride. His 3rd home run of the year. Boy, he really hit that one. So if Will Harris was angry over the 2 wild pitches and then almost hit Abreu, he can forget about being angry. And look at Bobby just kind of strolling a little. Upstairs to right field. Bo McLaughlin talking to Will Harris. Dodgers, for the third game in a row now, have scored 8 runs.
Second baseman, number 14, Mark Ellis.
So with 1 out, Ethier single, 2 wild pitches got him to third. Ellis doubled him home. And now Abreu hits a 2-run home run. So it's a 3-run 8th. And it's 8-0 Dodgers. For Harris, that would be the 3rd home run that he's allowed. So Abreu enjoying the moment. And that's whacked into left field. That should be good for 2. Over to get it is Brown, jogging into second is Ellis. So the Dodgers are all over Will Harris as he desperately tries to get the last out. So Mark Ellis with a single and a double. Matt Kemp is the only regular without a hit. Nope, check me Ramirez too. Ramirez 0 for 3. Matt is 0 for 3. They each walk. So here's Cruz, 1 for 4. 4-1. Dodgers 8 runs, 12 hits. The Rockies no runs, 5 hits. Joe Blandon no doubt would wish the Dodgers could put a few runs in escrow and take them out tomorrow. Little foul, no play. Pacheco over, but that's about all. 1-1. A high-spirited Friday night crowd, 37,133. Abreu talking to Hanley Ramirez, I think, about that first pitch. High fly ball. This is catchable. Colvin is there. And there's the last out in the 8th inning. But the Dodgers add 3, break the game wide open for Clayton Kershaw, who can call it a night, leading 8-0. The letter K because he had 10 strikeouts to go along with just 5 hits and 2 walks and no runs. So Kershaw gives the Dodgers a lift despite the fact the Cardinals defeated Washington, reducing the number to 3. The Dodgers have scored 24 runs, 8 in each of the last 3 games, and now Josh Wall will be asked to get 3 outs in the 9th inning. And then tomorrow at 6:10 we'll start all over again with Blanton and Chatwood. Willen Rosario, the catcher, then Chris Nelson, and the right fielder Matt McBride. facing Josh Wall. Josh out of Walker, Louisiana. He went to Walker High School. He was going to go to LSU, and the Dodgers gave him a bonus to sign him away. That was back in 2005. He finally came up this year. Wall is 6'6", 215-pounder, 25 years old. Still lives in Walker, Louisiana. Basically, fastball up in the 90s, power curveball, slider, and a changeup. So Josh Wall is ready to go to work. Dodgers with 8 runs and 12 hits. The Rockies no runs, 5 hits. For the Rockies, not only faced with their 95th loss, they're also faced with their 10th shutout. And the catcher, Willen Rosario, will start it off. Eight nothing Dodgers, top of the 9th. Oh, and 1. Dodgers winning this game will then have broken even with the last place Rockies. They will have split 16. They will have won 5 of the 7 here, where they have lost 6 of 9 in Denver. 0-2 the count to Rosario. Double to left, struck out, fly to right. Willen hitting .278. 27 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Check swing, did he? Yes, he did. So Rosario goes walking back empty-handed. Struck out twice tonight. 11 Rockies have bitten the dust. Kershaw nailed 10 of them. And now Nelson. Chris Nelson has struck out twice. Was 0-2 in the 6th inning, on the verge of striking out a 3rd time. Battled the count to 2-2 and then single to center. He's a good at-bat. Hitting .303. Ball 1. Fastball fouled away. Wall hit 95 on the speed gun with that fastball. Well, no wonder Nelson was a little late. Jeff Francis and then Moscoso, Renicky, and Harris. Francis figures to lose. He'll be 5-7, and he'll be 6-5 lifetime against the Dodgers. Kershaw certainly figures to win. He'll be 13-9. He'll be 7-4 lifetime against the Rockies. 4-1 lifetime against them here at Dodger Stadium. The best the Dodgers can do is win, as they watch the Cardinals pound Washington and reduce the number to 3. Any combination of Cardinal victories and or Dodger defeats that add to 3, and that'll be that. 2-2. Off the glove. Wall picks it up, fires, and got him. Nice play. So Josh Wall battling a hard comebacker and was able to slow it down right there and then not quit. He went after it, got his man. Matt Kemp gives him a little bit of applause. 2 out in the 9th inning. The last base hit for the Rockies occurred with 2 out in the 6th inning. That's it. So here's McBride. Struck out, popped up twice, but oh, what a catch he made. in the 5th inning on a ball hit by Hanley Ramirez. And a strike off speed. No balls, 1 strike. He waved at that pitch. 0-2 the count. Matt hitting .231. 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. And the crowd now rooting for Wall to wrap it up. 37,133. Hope you'll be out here with us tomorrow night. 6:10. And then Sunday, Fan Appreciation Day. High pop fly belongs to Hanley Ramirez, and the victory belongs to the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Rockies. However, the Dodgers remain 3 back of St. Louis. But more importantly, as we've mentioned, since the Cardinals won, they have reduced the number despite the Dodgers, and the magic number is now 3. Tomorrow, it will be the 17th meeting between the 2 teams. They've each won 8. They've had their share of heroes tonight. Victorino, a 3-run home run. Bobby Abreu, a 2-run home run coming off the bench. Andre Ethier had 3 hits tonight. And so it goes. The entire ball club swinging the bat very well. 24 runs, 8 runs in each of the last 3 games. And of course, for Abreu, he took a fastball up and in and then hit the big home run to make it 8. So that'll do it for tonight. Talk to you tomorrow at 6:10. Till then, we wish you all a very pleasant good evening.
All right, Vin, thank you very much. Torino. And Shane, you got things started in the 2nd inning with that big 3-run homer.
It definitely feels good. To come out here tonight, we're in where every game counts, and this is what it's all about. I've been there. A lot of us have been there. We're excited for this opportunity. We're going to keep battling to the end. So